Desiree Decoo is the founder of Hope Healing on Purpose every day. How about that? Hope Healing on Purpose every day. I think that should be all of our mottos. And a dedicated therapist with 20 years of experience in mental health and substance use service. Born and raised in Dorchester of Cape Verdean and Puerto Rican descent. She has long served her community through individual, couple, family, and group counseling, recognizing the importance of both direct care and systemic care change. Desiree expanded her work into public health and now serves as a director of Women and Family Services at Massachusetts Department of Public Health. Through Hope, she provides counseling, consulting, and workshops for underserved communities, as well as supervision and training for counselors and agencies to strengthen the quality of care, guided by her belief that health is incomplete without heal. Desiree inspires individuals to prioritize wellness daily. Her mission is to empower people, foster resilience, and build communities grounded in healing and equity. I would like to invite Desiree Decoo to come up.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I threw a little curveball in, so I apologize for the holdup. Here it is. I'll let you. Do you want to? While we wait, I will introduce my colleague that came out to be with us today to get us started. Jacqueline Montero is the founder of Women Strong Recovery and Wellness and Coaching, and she is going to guide us through some meditation and sound healing and whatever she chooses, and she does amazing work. You'll see her bio up here on the screen shortly. And please take a moment to be present and enjoy this part, and then we will slowly move into the next segment. Thank you so much, Jacqueline.
So I am Jacqueline from Women Strong Recovery and Wellness Coaching. Can you guys hear me? Yes? Okay. Thank you. And I'm a woman in long-term recovery from substance use disorder. I celebrated 10 years this year. So I appreciate, us being able to talk about what it is, what else we're losing to the streets, right? But the work that I've been doing is really using mindfulness and wellness to heal our women in recovery, to heal our women from substance use disorder, domestic violence, and, all the other, we heard about the chaos, right, the trauma, and using that as a tool to move through. And today what I heard was we're rooted in the work. And that's been something I've been doing, and, rooted in God, rooted in the faith, rooted in, serving others. So today we'll just move through some breath work, move through some stretching, and really just look at what we're feeling in our body, be present, and notice what's happening today, right? And allowing ourselves to move through that. So if you can stand, right? If you like to sit, you can stay seated. But I'd really like, if you can, stand up with the option of sitting. And if you are sitting, 2 feet on the ground, flat in front of you, right? Really allow yourself to feel your shoulders back. And if you're standing, feeling the 4 corners of your feet, feeling shoulders over hips, hips over feet, toes planted into the ground, right? As we stand rooted in the work that we're doing, as we're allowing ourselves to come together, right? And to honor those lost, to honor those that are here fighting, right? If you want your eyes opened or closed or gently gaze down at the ground, however that feels like for you. Allow your hands by your side, palms up or palms down. Right. Notice if the shoulders are creeping up towards the ears, bring them down. Allow yourself to feel a regular breath here, just the in and out, noticing your heart, right? The heartbeat, the up and the down. Allow yourself to take a breath here, inhaling together. We're doing this together in community, inhaling from either the nose or the mouth, however that feels like for you right now. Breathe in. Let it go. Again, breathe in. Let it go. One more time, take a nice big breath. Maybe you feel the shoulders creep up. Let it go. Let it go, right? Let it go.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, right? We're allowing ourselves to stand here, to be rooted, right? And where there is breath, there is hope. So we use our breath to carry us through, right? To move through the grief, to move through the crying and the healing and the joy and the laughter and the dancing. Our breath carries us, even when we don't ask for it to. So again, we'll take another full deep breath collectively together, inhaling all the way down into that belly space. Fill that belly space up. Let it go. Again, breathing in all the way down, all the way past that heart space, into the lungs, into the belly space. Fill that belly space up. Let it go. One more time. Inhale collectively together. We're carrying our breath together. Inhale all the way down past the heart center into the belly space. Let it go. Beautiful. If you like to close your eyes, keep them open. This is a moment to pause. This is a moment to allow ourselves to just collectively feel the love. When I came in, I was like, oh, it's so quiet. It's a different one. A little bit of solace. Sort of feeling and healing together in this space. Just notice what that does for your body here. Feel the shoulders creep up, the jaw tighten. So allow yourself to have a little bit more ease, a little bit more softness. Start to breathe in together. Sometimes the quiet can be uncomfortable. Like to be a little bit more present. Sometimes just the simple chime will bring you back. And slowly, gently open your eyes, come back to the room. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch, maybe shoulders up, arms out, up, above if you can. Settle in. I'll hand it back over to Desiree.
Can we get another round of applause for Jacqueline, please? So, for some of us, we've experienced trauma that doesn't allow us to meditate or allow us to close our eyes in a room full of people. And I just want to congratulate you if you were able to allow yourself to be as present as possible in that moment, because it's not easy. So when I had Amanda and Mona Lisa and her team reach out to me, I was like, wow, I don't know if this is the setting like that I usually come into, because I haven't lost a child. And then I thought, but I've lost hundreds of friends and cousins and a very, very, very close friend when I was at Roxbury Community College in 2007. And we had started a group called HOPE, Hop on Proper Education at the time. And unfortunately, we lost Michael Wiggins, say his name, on July 4th of 2007. And I was actually hosting the Cape Verdean Festival in City Hall. It was like when I first started to, find my voice and enjoy being in these spaces. And I could only imagine that I was on a stage and I was introducing other people while he was losing his life. So I'm very blessed and honored to be here today, not as a public health employee, not as the founder of HOPE, but as a survivor. I am part of his voice. I'm still in touch with his family. I am also the child of an addict that did not survive. And I will say that as much as addiction is a choice, it is still murder when they choose to add other things to it. Right? So I was so grateful that you shared about Narcan, and I said, well, isn't this like such a segue? I work for the Bureau of Substance Addiction Services. So what I do every day really lends to all of the impact that we see in our city every day. I grew up in the gang violence era when the Cape Verdean communities were at war. And I lived on Glendale Street, for those of you who know Dorchester, in the middle of that war. And to watch your own family take each other's lives. And to watch your grandmother mourn her nephew, but it was caused by family. So those things you really don't recover from, but you kind of tuck it away somewhere. So it really felt relevant that I would speak here today, and I'm really grateful to be here. And although my experience is different, I hope it reminds you that as much as you remember your children, so do their friends. So do their cousins. So do their aunts and uncles. You are not the only one remembering them and honoring them in spaces that you know nothing about. So please remember that and carry that with you. I also do spoken word every now and then in the city of Boston, and I stopped doing it once I had started my family because I felt like the voice is for my children now. And then I realized, no, I have to show them that I always had a voice so that they can find theirs. So I just recently got back into it, so I appreciate sharing this piece with you, which is relevant to today. We who rise. In the hush of a broken night, where sirens steal tomorrow, we gather beside the silence, where our loved one's voice used to be. Grief enters like a storm, uninvited, unrelenting, yet somehow we stand. We stand not because of pain and is light, but because love is heavier, because memory is a promise, and justice has a heartbeat. We find one another in the ache, stitched together by loss and courage. Ordinary people who become movement, not by choice, but by necessity. We gather not to surrender the sorrow, but to shape it into purpose, into action, into something that might save someone else's child. We get proximate, standing shoulder to shoulder with the forgotten, the unseen, the unheard. We walk into pain together, and we refuse to look away. Grief becomes a bridge instead of a wall. We change the narrative, declaring love louder than fear and truth stronger than statistics. We speak the names of those we lost, not as numbers, but as lives, full of rhythm, hope, and laughter. We reject the lie that violence is normal or inevitable. We stay hopeful, not with passive optimism, but with disciplined, courageous hope, the kind Bryan Stevenson calls a superpower. Hope that rebuilds what's been shattered, hope that carries like fire in our hands to light the way forward, We do the uncomfortable things because courage is rarely comfortable. We step into rooms where change is overdue, speak hard truths, challenge systems, stand to silence, organize for peace, and vote for futures. We call our representatives. We make room or bring a table where there wasn't a place for us. We love our communities enough to transform them, and in our footsteps comes generational healing. Not a quick fix, but a living promise, a legacy of action, a rhythm of resilience. Healing that says, this pain ends with us, this story changes now. So today we rise from broken soil to plant seeds of justice with hands trembling but unafraid. We know this truth. We know God is guiding our footsteps, and we know that love is not passive, justice is not abstract, peace is not quiet, and change is not impossible. It begins here with us, as it already has. With hearts brave enough to turn mourning into movement, pain into power, loss into lasting change. And though our tears are holy, so is our power. Thank you. So Bryan Stevenson is a social justice activist and lawyer, and you may have heard of him or read some of his books. And he says that there's 4 principles to achieving peace and justice. And it's interesting because I had someone bring this topic up recently, and I said, wow, God is using you as a vessel because I need to share this when I go to this conference. And it's important that we stay proximate to the issues, that we don't become part of the problem, but become part of the solution. And that we look at what we're able to do from where we are with what we have and not always look at the deficits, right? And it's important that we stay hopeful, not naivety, but hopeful, because loss of hope means what? That we don't move, and we need to keep moving. We change the narrative. There are topics and subjects that are really widely judged differently, right? I walked in today, there was a conversation happening, and some of you may have been part of that conversation, and we were talking about the issues that are happening in Boston today. They were talking about it, I was listening. And they were talking about how there's been shifts and changes and how drug laws have changed and how resources are being dispersed across the state and how there's a real issue that we have in mass and caste. And I'm sitting there like, I'm in a lot of those rooms, I agree. And it's not for lack of trying. All of us are doing our part, but we know that, our priorities are not everyone's priorities. So it's important to change the narrative that we don't care. It's important to change the narrative of this is just how our population is. This is not what we deserve, and we deserve more and better. And the reason why, and I said this to Jackie yesterday, I said, sometimes I wonder why do I do both? Why do I have this business and I work for the state Department of Public Health? And I realized there needs to be one of us in every room. And there's opportunities that we can open up for one another that may not have existed if we're not in every room. But I also realize I don't have a separation of church and state. Like, God takes me and he guides me and he uses me as a beacon in every place that I end up. And sometimes I don't know how I got there either. But I will say that the persistence in doing something with the void and the pain is what continues to keep me going. And I'm so blessed to be in a room full of people who have the same vision. Get uncomfortable. There's going to be times where you will be the only one in the room who really, really sees the vision or the need or really understands the boots on the ground approach, because everyone's starting for the problem, but you're going to the groundwater, right? So you need to make everyone uncomfortable with you. And it's okay to be the one that questions everything. That's me. Do we invite her to the meeting? No, you didn't invite me, but I'm coming. It's important that we're uncomfortable with being, we're okay with being uncomfortable in many respects. So I'm gonna ask you, what are you dedicating to today? Are you going to be proximate? Are you going to stay hopeful? Are you going to change the narrative? Are you going to get uncomfortable? And how are you gonna do that? I'm gonna go around the room and we're all gonna take turns sharing. Who'd like to go first?
Thank you. I'll just say I'm going to stay doing all four because that's what I do. And, you know, that number four is, you know, get uncomfortable is where I live all the time. So.
Thank you. Anyone else? No, don't worry about it. Anyone else?
I'm going to say number 3, just stay hopeful, because that's what I need is hope. I think we all need hope.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I would say change the narrative because rewriting the narrative is very important, especially when you're a person who has, suffered different traumas. Because if you don't change the narrative, you will stay in that place of hurt. And as we know, hurt people, right? So that's very important.
Thank you. There was someone back here. 2 people back here.
I'll say number 4, get uncomfortable, because I'm already uncomfortable because my son is not here.
Absolutely. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to say number 2, change the narrative. I'm going to reflect, reframe, and refocus.
Love that. Thank you. Anyone else?
I would say stay hopeful because, like I said, I've overcome a lot of anger and learned to accept that God needed my son, and he's up there doing work for him. So stay hopeful.
Any others? Yes.
Yeah, I would also say stay hopeful, because from all the negativity, we could always bring a light and just make it positive in what we do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anyone else want to add? Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to say get proximate. Today I sat here and I received a text. Well, actually, he posted it on Facebook, and it's one of my son's friends. And he wrote, I wish I could be myself, but when you left, that shit changed me, facts. And the reason why I say that is because I created a community in my home, in the back room, where all my boys, I have 3 boys, all their friends came to the house, hang out, be there. I created a safe space. But my son was killed 2 blocks away from my house. And I just wanted to say that I know all his friends are suffering, and that's why I have to stay doing what I do, so that I can be there for them. Because if I still can't even figure this out, imagine them. And unfortunately, one of my boy's friends got a gun charge after my son was killed, because he felt like he had to protect my other son. So what we do is important.
Absolutely. Yeah. Stay close.
Hi, everyone. I picked Number 2, change the narrative. And 3, stay hopeful. I had brought Sherma out here because she needed to release and get to know a lot of y'all, because she need to really know that she's not by herself. She need to know that she's not alone, and I love her dearly. And it's not, I don't call both of my sons that was killed. One was killed, gun violence, and my other son was stabbed. So I call it senseless violence. So at this time, for me to bring her out, I just don't want her to know that. I want her to know that it's not just gun violence, it's senseless violence. It's a whole lot of violence that's going on, so it's senseless to everything. It could be anything. And I just want her to know, and let everybody know that. Can everybody just let her know that she's not alone? So could you please just stand up and just tell her she's not alone? Because
You are not alone. You are not alone. I was going to save this for the end, but I think it's a good opportunity to take this moment to see one another in our full selves. And the Zulu tribe in Africa uses this saying, and it's so powerful. And if you don't know, Cape Verdean is African. And, you know, we have a sprinkle of colonization and Portuguese as well. So I wanted to share an African saying and have you all share it with one another. And it's Sawubona. And if you say this to your neighbor, it means I see you. Sawubona. Zulu. I don't know which country. I appreciate that. But I say it and I use it in workshops that I do, and I make people say it so that we can remember not only that we see one another, but where we come from, and the lineage and the generational hurt, right? So let's say it together. Sawubona. Take that with you and share it. Thank you.